Hi kids, have you ever seen heavy rain? The kind that turns roads into little rivers? Well, today I'm going to take you on an exciting adventure, back in time to meet a kind grandpa named Noah. In Noah's time, a massive rainstorm didn't just turn streets into rivers, it made the whole earth look like a giant swimming pool. But this story isn't a fairy tale. It really happened thousands of years ago, way before your grandparents were born. It all began when God created everything: the universe, the earth, the sky, animals and plants, all perfectly beautiful. Then God made humans in His image. He wanted them to explore the world, play with the animals, and be His forever friends. Everything was wonderful. But something sad happened. People chose not to obey God. They sinned and broke the beautiful world God made. Then those people had children, and their children had more children, and soon the world was full of people. But guess what else filled the world? Sin. People started doing whatever they wanted. They were unkind, told lies, stole things, fought with each other, and hurt one another. They made the beautiful world ugly with their bad choices, and that made God very, very sad. So God decided to start over. He would send a huge flood to cover the whole earth. Water would rise so high that even rooftops and tall mountains would disappear under it. God was going to wash away all the evil. No one would survive, except for one family, Noah's. God chose Noah to begin again. Noah was faithful. He tried hard to do what was right. While everyone else was being mean and selfish, Noah chose to obey God. God told Noah about the big flood and gave him special instructions to build a giant boat out of strong wood. That giant boat was called an ark. God promised to save Noah and his family inside the ark. It was 138 meters long, 23 meters wide, and 14 meters tall. Can you imagine how big that is? Was it as big as a bus? Or your classroom? Or maybe your house? Nope! Even bigger. It was as big as a 3-story building the size of a football field. And it wasn't just for Noah and his family. The ark had space for all the animals God wanted to save, too. Noah got to work, helped by his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, along with their wives and Noah's wife. People laughed at Noah. They thought he was silly and a little weird for building a boat in the middle of dry land. But Noah didn't care. He trusted God and obeyed Him. Kids, sometimes obeying God might seem weird, but that's okay. Noah kept working. He listened to God more than he listened to people. Then God told Noah to bring animals into the ark: lions, elephants, birds, rabbits, and more. Can you imagine how noisy and exciting that must have been? When everyone was inside the ark, God shut the door. Then it started to rain. Not just any rain, but a powerful, endless rain. It poured for 40 days and 40 nights. Water also burst from under the earth. Everything was covered: houses, trees, even mountain tops. The earth looked like a big ocean. Only the ark floated safely on the water. Everyone else was gone. Only Noah his family, and the animals were safe. God kept his promise. They waited and waited. The ark floated for 10 days, then 50, 100, 150 days. That's a long time. Finally, the waters began to go down. The ark landed on a mountain. Noah sent out a raven to check for dry land, but it came back. He sent a dove. It came back too. After 7 days, he sent the dove again, and it returned with an olive leaf in its beak. That meant plants were growing again. Noah waited another 7 days and sent the dove one more time. This time, the dove didn't return. That meant the land was dry. But Noah still waited patiently until God said it was time to come out. Then Noah, his family, and all the animals stepped out onto dry land. They were joyful and thankful. God had saved them. The first thing Noah did was build an altar to thank God with a special offering. Then God made a covenant, a very special promise. God promised never again to flood the whole earth like that. Even though people would still do wrong things, God gave them a second chance. To show this promise, God placed a beautiful rainbow in the sky. Every time we see a rainbow, it reminds us God always keeps his promises. One day, just like God saved Noah, he would send his perfect son, Jesus, to save the world. Jesus would take the punishment for everyone's sins so that people could be close to God again. And kids, because of Jesus, we can be friends with God again. We can talk to God anytime and anywhere. And that's the story of Noah. Now, just in case you missed it, let's do a quick recap of Noah's story. God made a perfect world. People sinned and ruined it. God was sad. God planned a big flood. But he also planned a rescue. Noah built the ark. Noah, his family, and the animals went inside. Rain fell hard. The ark floated for many days. The water went down. Noah gave thanks. God made a promise. God sent Jesus to save us too. That's part of God's big story. And the amazing thing is, we're part of it as well.